Hello, welcome to Retro Cheese Review, where my friends and I review cheesy movies. With me today is Devin again. You probably can't hear, but I'm hitting the applause button just for the soundboard. I don't think you can hear it on your end.
I can't hear anything.
Devin, thanks for coming back. Yeah, like last time, Devin has suggested a very, very old cheesy movie. This time it was Miami Connection. God damn it. Somehow far worse than the last one. I cannot give this a nostalgia review because this is my first time seeing it. So I will let you give your first time seeing it what your nostalgia take would have been on this.
I had a friend in college. He just randomly after class one day was like, "Hey, I have this movie. Have you ever heard of Miami Connection?" No idea. I hadn't heard any real bad movies at the time anyway. So this is one of my first arguably enjoyable bad movies, which I feel like anyone's going to enjoy it. But the first time I watched it was just a roller coaster, man. I'm like, I had no idea. Like, you're telling me we'll probably do that later. Some of the stuff you touched on when we were messaging, I had no idea. The history of karate and all that. But I think I have the benefit of never having watched much the first time. So I wasn't jaded at all. I was just sort of like, okay, this is a karate movie. It's kung fu. They're beating the shit out of each other. And it was also a time where I was exploring new music. And when I heard that was called Dragon Force, yeah, when I heard that music playing, I'm like, this is so... I was on a Journey kick at the time, so it mixed really well.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of Journey, so I get that.
Oh yeah. So I had those elements that help me keep grounded, I guess, when I'm watching it. As I couldn't just shit through it, but... and I had commentary with the guy, with his friend, or my friend and his roommates, so... I think if you watched it alone, it'd be a little bit different. But I had that. So, I feel like I enjoyed it thoroughly the first time. Definitely would have given it, like, I don't know, 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10 the first time?
Yeah,
okay, that is
purely on emotion, though. I didn't look at it with a critical lens, so...
Yeah, and when I was watching this, I was texting you. I was texting our friend Rob, who is a Taekwondo instructor and like a 5th degree black belt in Taekwondo. And I was talking to Felicia, who just was trying to ignore the movie. Like, she got up and just walked out like of the living room a couple times. Just like, what the hell is this? Diving into Rotten Tomatoes, they were very kind to this movie. I was very surprised. Rotten Tomatoes is weird sometimes with these older movies because they're only getting reviewed through the eyes of nostalgia, some of them, or some of, like, I've noticed the really popular older movies, yeah, they get held up to today's standards sometimes, the more popular ones. 65% critic score and 64% audience score.
That's a little lower than I would expect.
Really?
Not that it doesn't deserve it. If you looked at it like, I feel like if Roger Ebert watched it, you know, look, he's deconstructing it in a, you know, methodical way. Like, this movie does not. It's complete garbage. Like, there's nothing redeemable about it whatsoever. The heart of the movie is the only thing that keeps it, like, enjoyable.
In my opinion, it's funny because I actually liked the last one that you had us watch and review, Troll 2. I surprisingly liked that movie. This one, the script is really, really, really bad. The directing is really bad. The acting. This is coming from someone I did theater since junior high. I've seen 6th graders do monologues that are better than Jim, the guy playing Jim.
My father! My father! I found my father! Oh my god! What'd you say? Father found my father!
He is...
What's his name? Kick by Kim or something like that?
Yeah, the guy, he is the worst actor alive. Like, he takes that award. He's so bad.
Yeah.
But he ended up in the UFC. Like, he was like a legitimate UFC fighter. So you can tell he...
Black guy.
Yeah, he only got into this movie because the fact that he actually was one of the few people who knew how to fight, I feel like.
It was him, and it was the really tall white guy.
Oh, like, that dude, you can tell he never did a day of Taekwondo in his life, which he's supposed to be a Taekwondo black belt, and he keeps referring to it as Taekwondo. Like, this weird, like, way of pronouncing it of, like, dude, what the hell's wrong with you? And, like, just watching this movie, very different background, very different way of us watching this movie, because I used to do Taekwondo. I do, Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu, but I did Taekwondo and Hapkido for a bit, the other Korean martial art. The director's Korean. Knowing that and then watching the fighting and stuff, and also they just are pretty blunt about it. I really think this movie was created because Karate Kid came out a few years earlier, and they were like, shit, karate's getting too popular. We need a propaganda film for Taekwondo.
I mean, it's pretty obvious, like, anything going on at the time. I think his name Danny Y. Kim or something like that. The Korean dude. You can tell that he just loved all these movies, and he's like, I have money, I'm going to make a movie with whatever resources I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like every single stunt coordinator and everyone who was a writer and stuff on the movie had the last name of either Kim or Young, or Park. Sorry, Park.
Yeah. Right.
And like knowing like Taekwondo lineage and shit, like every major Taekwondo grandmaster in the frickin' US is either Park or Young or Kim. Like all of them are. Like literally the guy that I trained under, the grandmaster's last name's Park. It's like, same frickin' family of like Taekwondo people.
Right. Yeah, and he I think it suffers the same problem as The Room, where all of the main responsibilities fall on the one guy. And he has no experience with anything having to do with film. So he just, I can't even imagine. I wonder if there's a documentary about it, because I know it was more palatable for the actors to read the script. They knew what they were getting into more so than like Troll 2. The actors did that. But it's just hanging by a thread.
It has the redeemable quality of the fight scenes for about half of it. Where it falls apart with the fight scenes is you can tell there's like 3 people who actually know how to fight, and then a bunch of people who had like maybe an hour of like, okay, this is how you do this. And I mean, in Taekwondo, and I'm going to get a lot of shit for this, not the most effective martial art for some of the stuff. It has a lot of great stuff for that UFC fighters adopt in terms of some kicks. But it's looking back, it's so laughable being like these ninjas, like literal freaking ninjas who are like, they're black belts in Taekwondo. We need to leave them alone. But like the fight, it works for movies. Taekwondo does. There's a reason a lot of movie people do it, because it's very flashy. It has those high kicks and stuff. But there's very little of that. And there's a lot of weapon usage. And frankly, like Taekwondo doesn't teach you how to use weapons. Like they're running around with katanas, and I'm like, they clearly have no idea. They look like kids playing with lightsabers. The
scene where I think Jim gets cut. He doesn't die. He just gets cut really badly. He's just killing people for like 20 minutes with a samurai.
It's so excessive. They're like barbarian yelling and running around with like katanas up like this and just dropping Miami ninjas. And we're kind of getting like way ahead in what little plot that there is. And as soon as they cut, because there's like none of the good guys get hurt or injured until that point, and they like make it like he's dead, and he's the only black guy in the film. And I'm just like, of fucking course, in the 1980s, they like,
remember he found his dad. He's the only one.
And it was like right before, it's like he found his dad. Yeah.
Remember, he comes out of the bathroom, says, "Guys, I'm taking the shower first." His underwear's just hanging out over the top of his pants, unzipped.
Yeah. I think the most 80s thing in the entire movie is that all of them are doing martial arts and they're all sweaty, but they're all like, they're not like, the only time I see them wearing like the traditional like dobuk, the Taekwondo, like, and they're only wearing the pants. The only time I see them wearing it is when they're performing as a band. When they're actually fighting and training, they're like shirtless with jeans, like jeans that are way too tight. It's like the most. It's kind of, in my opinion, similar to Troll 2, in that you have a foreign director that doesn't understand American culture, trying to push what he thinks, like the most stereotypical American culture possible, but in a different way. You can tell, like, the French director, Troll 2, it's almost like, oh, look at these hill jacks, like rednecks. Whereas this guy's just like, look at these dangerously 80s. Like, it's funny because it's in Florida, but feels very California, like stereotypical 80s California culture. They're all shirtless. They're all wearing jeans. The making out is excessive. They like zoom in on like these actors like making out, and you can tell they're uncomfortable, and they like, okay, the guy's just keeping the camera on them, and it's like, it's for a long amount of time in multiple scenes.
I wish I could have been there. Like, Danny's like, no, keep kissing, I'm filming, and they're like, dude, like the part where they're in the ocean, and he reminds me of someone. I can't put my finger on it. The other guy that's fighting with the sword. I don't remember his name in the movie, but he's really big. Like, he's really tall.
Yeah.
But he has a makeout scene in the beach, but they're like half submerged in the water, laying down. So
and they're like biting each other's faces practically.
Literally just going at it. Like, I don't know what. Well, obviously, I think it's just, like I said, inexperience, and he's all right. We need to push this scene for at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, I have no idea how that guy got, like, the tall guy, because he's like pretty much supposed to be the protagonist. I have no idea how he got cast, because he's a terrible actor. He's kind of ugly, like gangly looking dude. Like, he's like 8 feet tall, but he's like gangly looking with bad teeth.
He reminds me of like a Dollar General Kylo Ren or Adam Driver. Yeah.
And he can't fight. He goes to do like a backside kick at some point, and he like hits the guy in the knee. Like, he does like this horrible like twist. It looked like a 5-year-old, in like their first Taekwondo or karate class. And I'm just like, why, like, replace him with a stuntman or something?
Yeah, and then he's screaming with Danny the whole time, and his mouth is just this garish, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, based on his appearance, but it's very barbaric. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to like get the face the way he had it. Like, it was weird.
Like the fourth.
It was so. Yeah, it was so bad. His acting was. Honestly,
the ninja. The entourage of ninjas on motorcycles.
They're underused. They're completely underused. I thought the whole movie took place in Miami, but they kept saying Central Florida, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I realized that it's in where can they go? Like, it's in Orlando. So the only way they could have gone worse, it makes sense with the drug problems and the gangs, it's Orlando. The only way they could have done worse in Florida is if they set in Jacksonville. So like the Miami thing is just the ninjas. They're the Miami ninjas. Because that's like, nobody messes with the Miami ninjas, and I'm like, okay, like, don't know why there's ninjas in Miami, but okay.
The movie hooked me at that point, and then it hooked me when it jumped right into the concert. And I'm like, okay, I'm at least going to finish this, because it could have started with a boring, 20-minute monologue where, well, not necessarily that, but just like trying to develop the story in some way.
Yeah, but fuck that, fuck prologue, just go right into the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we've really gotten the plot. I'll sum it up very, very quickly, and then we can get back into just discussing the bad and the good things. Like, some ninjas take down a coke gang and steal their coke. Then, like, cuts to, like, a band in Orlando that's Taekwondo themed, singing about friendship. They're going to college, even though, like, they're like 40, I'm pretty sure. They all look like 40. It's like the 80s thing of, like, you have like 30-year-olds playing like 15-year-olds. So it's like, well, they're in college, so we'll have to get 40-year-olds. Like, dude's supposed to be like a freshman in college and has crow's feet. they're after that, like you find out this one group of people are like pissed at them. I don't know, like one of the members of one of the main characters, one of the main characters is dating the sister of like this, gang leader who's got a mullet. You somehow find out that like the leader of the Miami Ninjas considers him a brother for some reason. I have no idea. They didn't really explain this. They fight back and forth sometimes, even though they're this badass coke dealing gang. They get their asses kicked consistently. It'll be like 2 of the people from the band, and they'll just wreck like 20 of them. Lots of fight scenes, lots of making out, some scenes on the beach with the member of the band who's got like the thick mustache and the mullet. Who, I mean,
he was composed as well.
That guy is one of the most feminine men I've ever seen, and he's going around like trying to grope women, and he's got the most epic mullet though ever. Yeah,
it's like a permed mullet, I think.
Yeah. He gets captured at some point, like all Kickboxer style. Like, I feel like they stole a lot from both Kickboxer and Karate Kid, and then they wanted like motorcycle gangs for some reason. I don't know. They take down the gang. They kill the brother. At some point, you find out Jim is an orphan, the black guy, and he's found his dad. I don't know. Like, they're all living in a house together and working out shirtless with jeans. There's a lot of fight scenes. There's one at a train yard where they purposely, like 3 of them, go into a trap with like the entire gang and just kick all their asses. Eventually, they kill the guy. They like kick him off of like a ledge and kill him. His brain splat.
Yeah, he's got like they're on the ledge and Danny's like swinging a stick at him. He's doing this. He falls off. Danny looks over like.
Somehow they also chop a henchman's neck with a pipe. Like his neck, like it looks like they got him with a sword. They kill a lot of people too. Like you can tell, like Orlando police are just sweep. I assume because they're in Orlando that Disney's just sweeping all these murders and coke things under the rug of like Orlando's safe. Come to Disney World. 88, it would have been under Eisner, I think. So they would have just swept all this shit under the rug as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it also has this feel of like a strange Cyberpunk 2077 mission to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why. I've been playing that game and I brushed up on the movie last night. And I'm like, man, this kind of feels like a prolonged story arc, and because you've got like the relationship between the Japanese guy and the white brother. Mm-hmm. So Arataka and pick a stupid. I can't remember the name. You got the motorcycle ninjas, the excessive killing.
Yeah, they've even got like a dude with an Uzi shooting at the ninjas, and he's just like dodging it and like hits them with a bow and arrow. Like, so fucking stupid. And then like these unstoppable ninjas are taken down by a band of people who just happen to practice Taekwondo.
Yeah.
At some point, a bunch of ruffians even screw with the chef of like the restaurant where the Korean guy works, and just like the older chef just beats their asses also.
Not only that, but the venue owner. You remember the scene where it just cuts and he's
and the owner just beats his ass.
Beats the shit out of 3 guys.
He's good.
He's really good. It's like, wait, okay, so this guy's gonna have more screen time, right? No, he literally just disappears.
Yeah, he's just like, get the fuck out of my music venue, and like the guy who's like been trained by the ninja gets his ass kicked by him.
Well, and the best part,
or no, it's the bad band. It's a different person, but yeah, still.
Yeah. He kicks their asses, and the guy comes back to yell more, and he like takes his suit jacket and just smacks him with it, and he just takes the hit.
Go on, get.
I'll be back.
Yeah. And that's another thing is like these assholes that are connected to the gang somehow, they're a band that got bumped, and that's how a lot of the shit gets started. And it's like how dare the owner bump my band for these friendship singing assholes? I'm gonna get this coke dealing gang involved to kill them. Like escalates really freaking quick, man.
Really quickly. I mean, that's part of why I like it because. Have you seen Birdemic?
I haven't.
Okay, that's the next movie you need to watch.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the more I recommend movies, the worse they get. Birdemic, I might actually. Okay, well, yeah. Anyway,
It's you and Larry are competing for like the who can recommend the worst movie to me.
Well, I would recommend. See, the thing about I don't want to make this about Birdemic, so the only point I'm trying to make is that in that movie, there is a point where it just shifts so drastically that it's actually like a jump scare. It's a strange form of jump scare because it's not meant to scare you. It literally just jars you. You're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I'm watching a romance movie, and all of a sudden, so this movie feels like, okay, we've got friendship, some drug dealing, karate, Taekwondo versus karate, whatever.
Yeah, it was basically Taekwondo versus it was Korea versus Japan, which knowing about the 80s and knowing about the origin of Taekwondo, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And then all of a sudden people are just dying. Like these college kids are qualified enough to just kill like ninjas.
Yeah, like I did Taekwondo for like 2 years and I would get the shit kicked out of me by a ninja. The only person I know who could probably legit kill a ninja using Taekwondo is Rob, but I think it's also because Rob has the I guess the build of like a Tolkien dwarf. Just nothing but muscle, just compact into a 5'2" frame.
Yeah.
He's gonna give me shit and be like, I'm 5'6".
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You guys should make a movie.
Like, Rob, like we should make like a legit like martial arts film.
Yeah, Rob can be the instructor, which he is an instructor or was or. Okay.
No, he is. Yeah, we'll make him the bad guy.
Oh, okay.
We'll make him grow a crappy beard. The movie, it's hard to talk about this movie without bringing up that part because it was a propaganda. I am 100% convinced that they were in a boardroom. This guy was, and he's like, those assholes made a movie about karate. Let's make a movie about Taekwondo to answer it. Like, and it's far worse than the Karate Kid. I would rank this in terms of cheesiness somewhere around the Hilary Swank Karate Kid. The next Karate Kid.
Was it 3 or 2 or something?
That was 4.
Really?
Yeah, it was literally called The Next Karate Kid, and it has Mr. Miyagi in it, but then he's training Hilary Swank instead of Danielson.
I'm making a little switch here.
Yeah, not a problem.
Sorry.
But yeah, getting kind of back into it, like the movie kind of ends. This is the worst way. They had the whole bloodbath thing. The girlfriend is completely okay that her brother's dead. Like, there's no mourning whatsoever. It's like, I'm okay you killed my brother. Let's make out. They're in the hospital. Jim survived. At some point, I thought his name was Jeff, even though it was the main bad guy's name's Jeff, because I swear to God that they forgot the actors did. They were yelling Jeff when he got...
I vaguely remember that as well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's like a kid out. And however they cut the movie, they just decided that that's acceptable. We'll just keep that in.
Well, and the sound mixing's terrible, too, in general.
Yeah.
There's multiple scenes where nobody's lips are moving and they're talking.
Right.
Like, to where, like, they just were like, shit, we forgot to have them say their lines in this one. Let's just go to the studio and have the editor bring this in. Like, multiple scenes. It was, like, a normal thing to happen. And there's a lot of cheesy songs. There's one about friendship. It's very 80s. That one I wasn't crazy about. The next song about fighting the ninja, that song was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah,
that made me think that the director... Yeah, against the ninja. That made me think that the director should have given up on the whole movie thing and just, like, started a band.
Yeah. Did you notice the line in... Well, I'm sure you did because they're screaming it, but they just keep screaming Taekwondo.
Yeah, and they're wearing frickin', like, the Taekwondo pants, and yeah. It's funny, the ninja training scene is one of the cheesiest things ever. Where the ninjas in Miami are training, literally when I was in Japan, I went to a kids, which they allowed adults there, but we went to a kids ninja-themed park in Nagano, Japan, and it looked exactly like that with the same, like, jungle gyms and shit that they're training on, and I'm like, these assholes are training at, like, a kids park or something.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the commercials in the late mid-90s for a place called Sybaris? It was like a romantic getaway.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It would play like this. It had this fuzzy effect on the edge of the screen, and it showed like a couple, sliding down a slide into a pool. Dude, that's the vibe. I'm like, they literally just rented out like a sex resort.
Oh yeah, no, it was. Well, no, it looked literally like those ninja parks. There was the jungle gyms they're training on. None of them are doing ninjutsu at all. None of them are trying to hide. None of them are. The main ninja is in like a full white, like just stands out completely, and they're all just running around with swords like just up here. That's like they hold them like right here above their hands. God damn it! Like you can tell that like the director's just like, okay, this is a Japanese martial art, make them look as stupid and shitty as possible, because that's like that tension, at the time between like that's the relationship between like Korea and Japan, or China and Japan, or any Asian country in Japan. All Asian countries hate Japan, and vice versa. Japan hates other Asian countries. That's literally just that's. Well, no, and it's not surprising. Like, Korean directors just, like, make them look like assholes and make Taekwondo look the best. And, like, the most legit fighting, you can tell, like, the director knows Hapkido also. And, like, they do some of those moves, and I'm like, that's good. That's the good shit. And then he's doing, like, these dumb fucking
the part where
stupid high kicks.
Grabs the guy. He playing anything. It's just got, like, they're changing out sparring partners, but it's always Danny. Or Jim, or whatever his name is. And the last guy has a knife, and he comes in, and he disarms him, and puts his fist in his mouth, and the guy, like, just goes, like, looks at the camera.
So stupid.
And it's
so
just
stupid.
right there. He's just swallowing fist, and it's like,
yeah.
I watched it, and I'm like, I know it's not real, like, I know this isn't a real technique at all. Even my inexperience.
Everything except for the fist in the mouth was. It was like white. It was like white belt Hapkido self-defense shit that they teach in Taekwondo, because most Taekwondo schools will teach some Hapkido, which makes sense because it's a Korean martial art. They blend together a bit.
Yeah, all the action movies you watch as a kid, you just assume, or at least I did, like, okay, this is real, but this is outside of like Jean-Claude and I don't know, some other action movie stars. I always assumed, like, okay, they know martial arts, but but this is like, I knew it was still showy. I'm like, it looks like they're doing something, but it doesn't really look like I thought Steven Seagal was the most dangerous guy in the world. And dude, when I got older,
fat Aikido ass.
What is this guy doing?
Yeah, Seagal does Aikido, which is, I'm gonna get a lot of hate from people who practice Aikido, but Steven Seagal, like, got his ass kicked for, like, I think I'm pretty sure it was either him or Van Damme that got their ass kicked by Jason David Frank at a convention. I don't remember. Van Damme's legit, but Jason David Frank also, rest in peace. But he, also, he was one of the few people who did movie stuntman that could kill most people if he wanted to.
He was, that's the same, I feel the same way about Michael J. White, is that his name?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
90s Spawn movie, well, the only.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's known as kind of a tough guy. Right. Jason David Frank actually had, like, a legit MMA record and shit, like, but he also had karate, Muay Thai, and jiu-jitsu. Yeah,
anytime you go on YouTube, put in, like, you could use, like, the buzzwords, Aikido student gets owned, or, something stupid. You always see that it's an MMA fighter that they're going up against.
Yeah.
And it's always the MMA fighter. And I'm talking about, like, most, you said, like, Aikido. There's another one that is just blatantly fake. I mean, they like arm waves to ward off their opponent. I don't know what it's called, but it's...
So, I'm not trying to, like, plug them or anything, because we're not affiliated at all, but McDojo Life, I think it's called, or is a Instagram account I follow that, like, makes fun of gyms like that. They call them McDojos. It's hilarious. Which, that's the thing, is, like, the director of this knows what he's doing, but he's like almost trying to one up Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid, because there's like the nose honk at some point, because he's like, well, I do Taekwondo, so I can lift my leg 8 feet high, because that's like 90% of Taekwondo is getting your, on top of spin kicks, is getting your leg stupidly high for like head kicks. And he like reaches his leg up multiple times and honks a guy, and like they're in the middle of a freaking song and band, and he reaches his leg up and honks the guy's nose with his toes. The dumbest shit ever. And you can tell the actor's like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's pinching my nose with his toes.
This, I don't even know. He's obviously like, the shortest member of the group.
Oh yeah.
It's just fun, like watching the movie. You're like, hey, but then he's pulling off all these like.
On people like 6 feet tall. It's that stretching, man. Like Taekwondo stretching is legit.
Right. Yeah. He's definitely like, that's what's impressive. Is he's so short, but he's like reaching his toes up and.
Part of me doesn't want Rob to see this movie, because he's gonna start going around barefoot honking people's nose with his toes. Like he's gonna because he's got that medieval torture device that he uses to get his legs like extra flexible. Yeah, he puts his legs in it, and it's got like a wheel, and he like stretches.
Maybe he'll take up some new fighting style. He'll masterable Taekwondo.
Nose pinching, like toe nose pinching, like. He'll invent a new form of MMA that you use your toes to pinch people's nose and throw them.
He's gonna innovate.
Yeah. So getting like back to the movie, we're a little over 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it to the review. I'm gonna openly admit it was funny to watch, but I'm not gonna give it anything out of 5. I'm gonna utilize my boo button. There, that is what I thought of this movie. I'm sorry, Devin.
What?
Yeah, I had to use the button.
Well,
it was funny to watch, but it was not a good movie. I love Troll 2, don't like the last one you gave me. This one, I'm sorry, Devin, I didn't like the movie. This rewatch, what would you rate it, Devin?
Rewatch. Dude. So I gave Troll 2 a 10, right?
Yeah, you gave that, I'm pretty sure.
I gave Troll 2 a 10 based on all the information I have in the documentary and all the history. I don't have any history with Miami Connection.
Mm-hmm.
My current review, I think I'm going to be generous and give it like a 7.
Okay, that's fair.
Is that your
you can do whatever out of whatever. It just means that Felicia has to edit in more stars. So 7 works completely fine. It'll make her edit more stars in.
I want to give it higher, but we don't have enough time to talk about why.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think that we'll retain the audience for more than about 30-something minutes.
And just in case anyone is wondering if they should watch it, because you booed it, but I'm
No. I think you should watch it.
Just at least once.
Yeah, watch it. Especially, like, if you're someone who practices any martial arts, just watch it for the sake of just seeing the fight scenes. It's funny. But, like, it's, just watch it for that, and watch it for the 80s music, too. Those are the redeemable qualities of it.
Yeah.
If you like 80s hair music.
Right, and if you like, well, there's a group of people out there that love shit scripts, and they actually enjoy that.
Movies written in crayon on a bar napkin.
Exactly. And if that's who's watching this right now, 100% this.
I will say it's not as bad as Warriors of Virtue. It's still not as bad as that Warriors of Virtue movie, because the martial arts is better, and it doesn't have those god-awful kangaroo costumes that gave me nightmares.
I just pictured kobolds the whole time. But I know kobolds from D&D are a little bit different. They look more like reptiles.
Yeah.
Kobolds I'm thinking of are from a game I'm getting off again, but this RPG I used to play called Suikoden. They're like dog-like people.
Yeah, and the kangaroos looked more like that. Yeah, we're getting a little off onto that movie, but like that's just me saying that somehow Larry has found a worse movie than Devan, and fuck you, Larry. Fuck you, Larry. That was the dead button. I was putting that. I just wanted to use that. There.
Have you watched, what did he recommend?
No, that was Warriors of Virtue that he recommended. Yeah, so he still stands as recommending the worst movie on this channel. That's giving you, like, I've got to top this.
I do, and I think I can.
I told Larry that we're going to have to watch Warriors of Virtue 2, and he refuses.
I didn't know the second one.
There is. He won't watch it, so maybe I'll force you to watch it with me.
I could watch it. That'd be we've watched without having ever seen it before.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, I think that's all the time we have today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you again, Devan, for recommending a movie, digging out of the vault of your endless brain of bad movies. If you like this, please give us a like. Please comment. Please subscribe. If you subscribe, we can, use your subscriptions to, find even worse movies. Leave a comment. Like I said, recommend the next movie that you want us to review. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Leave us a hate comment. Write horrible things about me. And thank you all. Bye.